very gratifying to see so many old friends and new faces, new members here today. It's a testament to the superb job that both Adam and Paul have done and their teams, and I think we should applaud them for their efforts. We're here today to elect a representative of the Conservative Party of Canada for Northumberland Peterborough-South in the upcoming general election for next fall. We're also here today to express our thanks to Rick Honourable. Rick and Judy have provided a solid foundation and guidance, as well as the spirit and energy to lead us through 3 increasingly successful elections. Rick has been our friend and mentor. He has always been the ideal of what an MP should be, how they involve and engage their community, and how they represent the Conservative Party of Canada and their rival. Ladies and gentlemen,
well, good afternoon, fellow Conservatives and friends. What a wonderful day this is. It reminds me just of last Saturday when, as you know, our riding my riding, Northumberland West, still the MP for that area, and will be, of course, until October of next year, but it was a wonderful day there too. Over pretty close to 800 ballots cast, and it was exciting, a crowd just like here. What a wonderful event, and it's true. What a testament to both candidates to get their folks out and to exercise the democratic process. In the end, when today is over, I firmly believe that the winner of this contest will be the next Member of Parliament for Northumberland Peterborough-South. And why do I say that? Well, you'll say, well, because you have to, but I really truly believe it, and I'll tell you why. The lowest taxes in Canada in 50 years. A recent announcement will even make that lower, and we haven't figured it all out yet. I know my friend Aaron here probably has, but it takes me a little bit longer to cipher things out. But I can say this. All politics are local. So we can look at the national scene and we can talk about lower taxes. We can talk about a whole lot of other things, the infrastructure that we've invested in. But all politics are local. And so what has happened over the last 8 years? What has happened is well over $2.25 billion federal dollars have been invested in Northumberland West. That's a record that you all should be proud of. So what has that number meant? It means the good folks, the men and women of our Royal Canadian Air Force, have a development in Trenton. I mean, if you go by there, you'll see new buildings being erected. You'll see new aircraft on the ground. Aircraft that are not just meant for war or to protect us. But the C-17 going to places like Haiti and other places around the world, bringing aid to people who really need it. Bringing people to and from areas of Canada where bad things or disasters have happened. That's what that investment has. And I can remember in 2006 standing beside the then leader of the opposition, the Right Honourable Stephen Harper, and Gordon O'Connor, who at the time was with him and was our defence minister in 2008. And I can remember being at the Holiday Inn in Trenton making a commitment to heavy and tactical lift aircraft. And we delivered on that promise. And we will deliver on the roughly 700 additional personnel that will go to Trent. And I can remember being at an all-candidates debate in 2006, right here in Port Hope, and the criticism that was going forward that whatever money had been allocated by the previous government, and kudos to them, for the cleanup, wasn't going to be enough. So what did we do? Made a $1.2 billion announcement. $100 million a year, every year over the next 10 years will be spent right in this municipality to make sure that the anti-nukers, the flakes from the rest of the world won't be able to come here and cast aspersions on one of the wonderful communities we have in this country. And I can say, without any reservation, that almost every piece of infrastructure in Northumberland Quinte West, whether it's county roads, municipal bridges, waste and freshwater plants, you name the infrastructure, over the last 8 years, the federal government has invested in each and every one of those very vital pieces of infrastructure that makes our communities safer and better places in which to live. And folks, what's more than that? We have a country that we can be proud of around the world. Proud of around the world because of what we stand for and what we're doing. And the events of the last couple of weeks have gotten some of us down, have made some of us worried. But the message you need to take away from all of the things that have happened recently and in the past is that the current government of Canada will ensure that Canada is the safest, best place in which to live and raise a family, and the person that you will elect today will be part of a team that will carry on that legacy for this country. I would like to bring you back to 2006. I'd like to bring you back to a nomination contest in which there were 5 people. And now some of you were in the room when you saw me talking to one of Port Hope's finest police officers. Well, he was one of the fellows who vied for the job that I have now. There were 5 contestants in that nomination race. And I want you to listen to this, and please listen carefully. There were 5 people involved in that nomination race. One, myself, was successful. Of the other 4, 3 put up signs, worked in campaign offices, licked on, did some things for mailing. Yes, tore some tongues, I guess. But they were all involved. And more importantly, in that 2006 and election since then, more importantly, the young lady sitting right over there, the wife of one of the people who vied for that candidacy, has been my campaign manager in 3 successful elections. That's what party unity is all about, and that's what we have to take the next step. Now, nominations in of themselves are very highly charged. And let's just say a lot of things are on the line, and people always think, well, somebody else is being advantaged, I'm being disadvantaged. After 4 o'clock today, that's behind us. After 4 o'clock today, every single person needs to roll up their sleeves and support the winner of this contest. Why? Because too much important is hanging on the balance. Too important for us to remember the things of the past. Going forward, we have to make sure that Stephen Harper and his team, I'll be there in the background helping out, but my carcass is getting old and I need to retire and enjoy some stuff. But in all seriousness, every single one of you is going to be needed to make sure that we send a Conservative Member of Parliament, the winner of today's contest, to Ottawa, to represent you, to carry on the legacy that this party has had for Northumberland. Quinte West will be transferred to Northumberland Peterborough-South. It is The affairs of this nation are too important for us to allow who we supported, who may not have been successful, they're too important to allow that to live on after today. So my one message and hope to you is this, that when today is done, that you unite behind the winner, and together that person will be the next Member of Parliament for Northumberland Peterborough-South, and we will go on to another majority government in Ottawa. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rick. Unity is important, so his message is of the utmost. After the speeches, I will give you some announcements on registration and voting. But first of all, we will hear from the candidates. And it's my pleasure to introduce, on behalf of Adam Moulton, Dr. Gregory Hodges.
Thank you and welcome. Today is the day that we as Conservatives in the riding of Northumberland and Peterborough-South have the occasion to cast our ballot for Adam Moulton, and thereby chart our course toward victory in the next federal election. Together we have a vision, and together we will have our candidate who will bear the standard for the Conservative Party and be our voice on Parliament Hill. The responsibility is great. And yet the benefits we stand to gain are all the more so. We live in a world of change. Our riding is growing. It is dynamic. It is vibrant. It is the envy of so many places in this country, in this world. Nonetheless, there are challenges that we face. Industry, manufacturing, and small businesses are the backbone of our economy. These need to be supported, encouraged, enticed into our towns. Tourism. The communities in our riding are destinations, unique in their heritage and environments. Agriculture. Farmers, you've heard it be said before, you feed our cities. Adam knows well the need for balance when addressing urban and rural issues. With a changing complexion, employment in this riding must be addressed through directed, deliberate, and effective initiatives, helping to match business owners, employees, and the needs of our specific area. Adam Moulton sees and celebrates the importance of senior citizens, while understanding that this part of the constituency can work together with young families, young voters, in order to support strong local programming and cohesive, united, sustainable, and economically responsible service models. Our riding has a character that is unique, the knowledge of which comes through time, tradition, history, and our future are tied together as we look forward to a period of change and, most importantly, opportunity. Adam knows the residents, their needs, having grown up in this area. He knows the places, the people, the personality of our towns and communities. Just as important is that people also know him. They have seen him grow as a citizen and understand his promise as a leader. He is a man of the greatest integrity. As a teacher, as a coach, as a community leader, as a volunteer, and as a father, I look to his energy as one of his greatest assets. His determination, persistence, perseverance, and courage, well, together, they will see that your concerns, your issues have a voice and a champion in Parliament. His sole ambition, his one desire, is not for personal political gain, but rather to assume the important responsibility of being your representative. Together, Adam will build with you a place where your values, your concerns, and your interests are of capital importance. Compassion, energy, commitment, these are the hallmarks of Adam Moulton. He is local. He stands upon values, principles, making him that stable candidate who has the courage to champion what is right. He is from Northumberland Peterborough-South, and he is for Northumberland Peterborough-South. Vote Moulton today and support Adam Moulton tomorrow as he ends up bearing the standard for you and for us in the forthcoming federal election. Welcome Adam Moulton, please.
Dr. Hodges, thank you for those kind words. I cannot tell you enough how much your support has been to me through this nomination process. Now, I wanted to take a moment before we get underway today to recognize two fallen Canadian heroes who tragically lost their lives last week. We, as Canadians, owe an unrepayable debt of gratitude to Warrant Officer Patrice Vincent and Corporal Nathan Cirillo, who lost their lives defending the very rights that allow us to gather here today, amongst our friends, our family, and our neighbors, to exercise our democratic rights in peace and security. These men will be dearly missed, but they will never be forgotten. Here before you today in our riding which is actually the only place I have ever called home. I have said it throughout, and it is worth it. I have said it throughout, and it is worth repeating. I am humbled by the outpouring of community support that I have received through this process, and I am determined to continue to earn it as your next Member of Parliament for Northumberland Peterborough-South. I am blessed to have such a supportive family who I am thankful is here with me today. My father, Ralph, my mother, Melanie, my two sisters, Megan and Emily, my brother, Dan, his lovely wife, Emily, and their beautiful daughter, Grace. Thank you to all of you gathered in this room. It is encouraging to see such a passionate group of local conservatives. To my friends and supporters who have come here today, your encouragement and presence inspires and drives me. Now, many of you remember me as a busybody kid involved in almost everything. From waking up at 4 a.m. and watching the sunrise over the Northumberland Hills on the annual turkey hunt, to volunteering within my church, to grueling hockey practices with Dave McWhorter in the old Coburg barn. It's a passion for our community that has led me on this road and brought me here today, seeking the opportunity to represent you in Ottawa, where I will fight for the family values and opportunities that are important to us as residents of Northumberland Peterborough-South. I hold in the highest regard those individuals who have heard and met the call to public service. It is my personal belief that every person has a duty to undertake some form of service to their community and to their country. And humbly, I believe that my place is to represent the people of my home and our surrounding communities in Parliament. Inspired by a desire to serve our community and looking towards the future, I am proud to share the following with unwavering conviction and awareness. I will take no constituent for granted. I will proudly advocate for the needs of our community, and I will ensure that local concerns receive the attention they deserve from the federal government. In 2011, when our Conservative government was elected with a majority, Prime Minister Harper said the following: "Canadians choose hope, unity and purpose, and a strong Canada. A strong Canada starts in strong communities. Communities where we support the men and women in uniform who fight for our country. And never has that Conservative value been more poignant and critical than it is today. Communities where job creation and opportunities for families are abundant. Where the taxes paid by residents and businesses are fair. Where government spends within its means. Where we support a strong and sustainable farming and food production sector, and where Canadians are free to enjoy the richness of our country. And for us, that means the rights of hunters, anglers, and outdoor enthusiasts are protected. I recognize the weight of this mandate and the fact that it requires decisive and pragmatic leadership. The type of leadership that we have seen from Rick Norlaw and the Conservative government. The type of leadership that I would deliver in order to shepherd our community into the future. Prime Minister Harper and the Conservative government have delivered consistent results for Canada. They have enhanced the safety and security of Canadians both on our streets and abroad. They have taken action to protect and enhance freedoms of Canadians and shepherd our economy through the global economic downturn. This next election will be challenging. The media will continue to treat Mr. Trudeau and the Liberals delicately, and it will be up to us to take our message directly to voters. We must take nothing for granted, and if I am nominated, I will begin working immediately to build a strong, well-funded, and effective campaign to ensure that we keep the riding of Northumberland Peterborough-South blue. Significant role, but I have energy, I have passion, and I am prepared to work until the job is done. Today's evolved political and technological landscape necessitates a candidate that has one foot firmly rooted at home and the other in the future. A candidate that understands yesterday, appreciates the history of our community and our country, represents the issues of the present, but anticipates the needs of tomorrow. This description to me embodies what it means to be a young, principled Conservative, and friends, it is my intention to live up to every word of it today and tomorrow. I will be among the next generation of leaders, and I recognize that I am seeking a role with a great mantle of responsibility to you. I have always believed that to be a leader, you must possess the courage to express your views and pursue your dreams despite the uncertainty and adversity that you will inevitably encounter. This nomination is the embodiment of that belief. When I look around this room, I see a group of people who appreciate hard work and responsibility and have long recognized and worked to sustain leadership for our community, both at home and in Ottawa. With the support of each of you gathered here today, with the support of our family members, friends, neighbors, and colleagues, it is my intention to continue to bring responsible, principled, Conservative leadership to Northumberland Peterborough-South. Thank you very much for all of you being here today. I hope I can count on your vote. Thank you.
Thank you, David. My name is Aaron O'Toole. I have the privilege of being the Member of Parliament next door in Durham, and I appreciate David and many of you who came out to help me in my by-election in 2012. Sorry I'm late this morning. I was at a military commemoration event in Whitby. As you know, we lost our friend and colleague Jim Flaherty some months ago, and I've been trying to make sure the riding is taken care of, so I'm sorry I'm late getting here. But as MP for Durham, part of my riding, Ward 4 of Clarington, is coming into this new riding, Northumberland Peterborough-South. So this is a very important nomination meeting for me to ensure our riding and our wider area is well taken care of. That's why I'm here to support and urge you to consider supporting Paul Smith. For 3 reasons, ladies and gentlemen. Paul has a tremendous track record of being a committed conservative and someone you want in your corner. I met Paul years ago at a conservative event, and since then, he is a go-to person for everything I've been involved with. I created a charity called True Patriot Love for our veterans and military families some years ago. Paul Smith stood up and helped in that effort. When I ran in a difficult by-election in 2012, out of the blue suddenly, Paul Smith stood up and helped me in that effort. The added bonus, ladies and gentlemen, with Paul Smith, you also get Gillian Smith. Dedication, absolutely. Paul and Gillian knocked on doors for me in Newcastle, which is coming to this riding, and Gillian was pregnant with twins at the time. That's dedication, ladies and gentlemen. The second reason I'm here is experience. And as a member of Prime Minister Harper's team, I think we need someone with Paul's experience in Ottawa. He's advised political leaders for almost 30 years, including our government, when we tasked him as chair of Via Rail. He's worked in corporate Canada. He's built a business. He's created jobs. He's built wealth, the principles of the Conservative Party. He's given to charities, not just my military one, climbed Kilimanjaro, active in his community, all while raising a family. These are tremendous experience that will hit the ground running for Northumberland Peterborough-South. He will hit the ground in Ottawa and be a strong voice for our area and a strong addition for our team. My third point, ladies and gentlemen, is your responsibility here today. We have 2 very good candidates before you, and you have to weigh the decision based on their track record in this race, their track record in life, on who can be the best voice for our community. As Adam said, it's about anticipating the needs of the future. Well, you anticipate the needs based on the experience you've had, and the experience Paul has had in his career will make sure that this area is very well represented and very well served locally and in Parliament, much like 2 of my political heroes, George Hees and Alan Lawrence, who were newer to the community, but were tremendous representatives and served as tremendous examples of the finest qualities of public service. So, I'm asking you to support our friend Paul and add another tremendous voice to the Harper team in Ottawa. Thank you very much.
Conservative friends, my name is Pauline Browse. I'm a resident of Harwood on Rice Lake, and I was a former federal cabinet minister. I've known Paul Smith for almost 30 years, and I have watched his path in Parliament and in business and in life. But what is important to me is that if you simply read all of his accomplishments, you'd miss the fact that Paul is very genuine, he's very sincere, and he's a humble family man, and he is a man who has earned his own way. And I'm going to tell you from my own personal experience that Paul Smith has the potential to go far on Parliament Hill. He knows how to, and he will get things done. which will be excellent for us, and it will be good for all the people of Northumberland, Peterborough-South. So please join Aaron and me, and numerous others who have encouraged Paul Smith to run, and I ask for your vote for Paul Smith this afternoon. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Je suis très heureux d'être là parmi vous. It's an honor to be here today and to ask for your vote. My name is Paul Smith, and before I begin and tell you about myself, I'd like to thank my good friend Aaron O'Toole for his kind words and especially for his friendship. I'd also like to thank the Honourable Pauline. You've served on Parliament Hill with great distinction and are a model for all those who seek office, and I thank you for our 30 years of friendship. Well, we're finally here, the day we chose who of us will take the banner forward into a tough election battle. Thanks for caring enough to be here today. This is a crucial vote, my friends. First, the winner has to beat the Liberals, and then immediately get to work for our riding in Ottawa. I believe I'm the best candidate. The one with the hands-on experience, with the pertinent education, and with the proven dedication from past performance. You are the ones making the decision, and I've been getting ready for this job for a long time. I present my credentials to you now and remind you that who you pick today must be able to beat the Liberals next October, if not sooner. Many of your friends and neighbours have given me the honour of their support, and they worked very hard to get me here today. Friends like Betty Finney Hunt and Lena Ford, Dean Pepper and David Patterson, Liz McGaughey, Ted and Shirley McCracken, David Lindsay and Alan McCurdy, Charles Kahn, Elizabeth and Bill Edwards, Mark Holmes and Don Roger, Joe and Joanne Watson, Tom Ritwich, John Woolsey, and many others. I'm also honored to count many members of the Conservative Caucus as friends. Those who promised to give me a hand when I get to Ottawa. Ministers such as Chris Alexander, Lisa Raitt, Peter MacKay, and Shelley Glover, and Kelly Beach, who is here today, who I salute. MPs Stephen Fletcher and Bernard Tarazzi, and of course, Aaron O'Toole. And in the long list of others who have endorsed me, the most recognizable names would be the Right Honourable Brian Mulroney, my friend and mentor, former Canadian ambassador to the United States and an architect of the Canada-US Free Trade Agreement, Derek Burnham, and a former deputy minister in the Federal Department of Finance, and responsible for many of Canada's important tax reform initiatives, Stanley Hart, who is also here today, whom I salute. These are the people who built Canada's solid financial foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, my last 4 years as chairman of Via Rail took me back to Ottawa regularly. I met and worked with many different ministers to fit our Via plans to theirs, and my early years in the Prime Minister's office gave me the experience to do my job well. I now have these current years of solid experience and contacts to put toward the job at hand. My work life includes big business and a startup company. In my career, I've been a chief financial officer, a chief executive officer, and a chairman. My startup company eventually grew to 150 people. As CFO, I took it public. And as CEO, I managed its growth. It was during that time that our company was named one of the best workplaces in Canada, an award that is voted on solely by the employees. And I have to tell you, I'm very proud of it. I grew up in a small town. I grew up in a small town in Manitoba, the youngest of 6 children. My father was the mayor and a school administrator, and my mother a nurse. There is a rumor amongst my siblings that I am my mother's favorite, and I may even have started that rumor. But it was there, observing my parents, that I learned the values of listening, of community building, and of rolling up their sleeves and getting to work. I worked construction jobs and captained my junior hockey team in order to pay for school, learning valuable life skills along the way. Education was important to me, and I earned degrees in politics, in business, and more business. At age 23, I was working on Parliament Hill, and by age 26, I was executive assistant to Prime Minister Mulroney. Working by the Prime Minister's side for 3 years, I can tell you there is no better training ground to learn how to be effective in Ottawa. By my early 30s, I was with the Bell Canada group of companies, and eventually rose to Chief Financial Officer of some of its subsidiaries. And then I started my own business. So now you're up to date on my resume. I'm ready and able to use every bit of my education, my job experience, and political savvy to work in your service. The world has shrunk to a point where our manufacturing, farming, and tourism industries are all required to look internationally for markets. True, the jobs you do may be locally based, but the challenges we face are global, and we need to work together to help create more and better jobs here in Northumberland Peterborough-South. Parliament is important. We need to have the ear of those who can help us with national and international trade and on other key files. Those strong links are vital to make progress on the issues that matter most to us. This is how governments work, and this is what I know how to do. I believe that so many of our riding's business leaders, such as Brian Reid and Ben Corelli, have chosen to support my campaign because they understand this very point. We need to comprehend the issues and have solid, long-standing relationships across the country, the continent, and even further afield in order to be able to protect and grow the opportunities here at home. These opportunities, in turn, are what allow us to continue to build thriving, resilient communities, places where a good life can be made by us, our children, and their children, where jobs are coming and not going. And at home, we're lucky. We have solid municipal representation. I salute Mayor-elect Bob Sanderson, and I salute Mayor re-elected Mark Coombs, and any other mayor who's here and I haven't met yet. All good people, and provincially we have experienced voices, all good people, informed people, with whom to work, to meet regularly, and with whom to have an open door policy. A member of Parliament has many roles: caucus member, community booster, local champion. One of the most important roles is to listen and keep the two-way communications flowing, acting as an advocate for local needs in Ottawa, and to be a watchdog to make sure Ottawa's decisions do not overreach and hinder local interests. I want to be that advocate and that watchdog. Application. I'll bring it back to me, Paul Smith. With my family's love and support, I have chosen to offer myself in the service of this wonderful riding after having been invited to run here, just like George East and Alan Lawrence, who both came from Toronto, and even Rick Norlock, who was born outside of Sudbury and spent the majority of his career all over Ontario. As a family, we feel that the fit is perfect. My experience is tailored to the needs of our riding, and this riding is exactly where we want to be. My wife Jillian and I have bought a home by the harbour in Coburg, and construction is to start next spring. Meantime, we are renting in that area. My son Arnaud is at Queen's and will hopefully make it home a little more often, now that water and beach are at hand. I know from my time on Parliament Hill that families are asked to give a lot. The hours are long, and you must be constantly available to the public. Fortunately, Jillian takes community involvement to heart, and is also volunteering on a hospital ball committee and sitting on the board of La Jeunesse Youth Orchestra Foundation. For my part, I've joined a hockey team, a great one, Lorenz and Sons, and I've started playing badminton and curling again, and I look forward to getting even more involved in this wonderful community. So there you have it. I want this job.
I'm very qualified for this job. And I hope that I've demonstrated to you that I'm the best candidate for this job. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Before we vote, I'd like to pass along a few items, please. Before we vote, I'd like to pass along a few items, please. There are a few people I'd like to thank for their efforts today. Those would be my colleagues on the EDA and the members of the CNC. Thank all the people that are volunteering on the voting stations to help you today, and especially our RO, our returning officer, Kim Moulton. As well as the staff here at the school, the student volunteers. Thank you. And lastly, I'd like to thank yourselves for attending today and your cooperation in the voting process. It's going to be a little slow to vote initially. We're a little short of volunteers, so please have patience and have your cooperation. Thank you all for staying. It was a lot of votes, and I appreciate everyone who stayed around. So it took a little longer to count than the results of the nomination for the Conservative Party of Canada for Northumberland Peterborough-South. I'd like to congratulate the winner, Adam Moulton.
Taking the time out of your busy Saturdays. Figure out one speech, you're not tired of being in here quite yet. So, but I'm overwhelmed and humbled by your support. This has been an absolutely tremendous nomination, and I gratefully accept the nomination to be your Conservative. I want to thank the local electoral district association and the candidate nomination committee. All of these positions are 100% volunteer time, and these people have worked tirelessly to make sure that this process has gone off without a hitch. So thank you very much for the EDA. I want to thank the party organizers from Ottawa and Toronto. It's not particularly the shortest drive for them to come here and give up their Saturdays. And also thank some of the Conservative caucus members who came here today. It's great to see our Conservative caucus being engaged at the local grassroots level, and that is what's going to take us strong into the next 2015 election against Liberals. I want to thank Rick Norla. Rick has been a tremendous member of Parliament that has served us all with distinction and dedication. And as I went door to door into each one of your homes, there was a common theme. You know, Rick's at every envelope opening. Rick has worked tirelessly in our constituency, and I hope to be half the constituent man that you are, Rick, so thank you. I would also like to thank my team, all of my phone bankers, my door knockers that pounded the pavement over the last number of weeks. It's been absolutely amazing. And also John Wilcox, my campaign manager. I know there's been a lot of people in and out of the house. I'm sure my mom is ready to pull her hair out right now. But so, anyways, an absolutely incredible family that supported me through this whole process. And lastly, I would like to thank Paul for an incredibly hard-fought nomination. The greater Conservative family to make sure that we deliver Stephen Harper another majority government in 2015. I look forward to getting to work in election preparation. The next few days I probably will be out on my hunting stand, deer hunting, but that's all right. So, and also I just want to let you know we will be having a meet and greet. I'd love to chat and with each and every one of you down at Bustos tonight following this event. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great evening. Well, you know what? I think that we fought a tremendously hard-fought campaign, both myself and Paul, and I think it's been an incredible turnout, and that's exactly what you want to see as a party, is that type of turnout and the quantity of people that did end up coming through the doors today. So it's great for the party, and I think it'll offer a strong start to the 2015 election for us.
Does that start today?
Pardon me?
Does that start?
Absolutely, it starts right away. So I've already spoken with Rick, and he and I will be chatting in order to be able to get the ball rolling and get us set up for our best chance in 2015.
What was the key?
You know what? Hard work and surrounding yourself with a team. Make no mistake about it. A nomination, very similar to an election, is won by not by an individual, but a team. And my team really stepped up to the plate, and I think we all just worked really, really hard at it. So.
Did you feel at any time that you lacked any kind of support from the local audience?
You know what? Growing up in the community, like I have, and not particularly, I felt as though I had a strong support from the community, and I'm really looking forward to carrying that forward. So.